ទេអស់កង្វល់រ៉ាទីកាជាក្រុមហ៊ុនទទួលស្គាល់លំដាប់អន្តរជាតិលើសេវាកម្មថតផ្សាយផ្ទាល់គ្រប់កម្មវិធីកម្រិត 4K ដំបូងបង្អស់នៅកម្ពុជារ៉ាទីកាប្រើប្រាស់ឧបករណ៍ទំនើបម៉ាកល្បីធានាគុណភាពការផលិតតាមបច្ចេកវិទ្យាទាន់សម័យរ៉ាទីកានឹងជួយធ្វើឲ្យកម្មវិធីលោកអ្នកកាន់តែមានភាពអស្ចារ្យលោកអ្នកនឹងបានឃើញរាល់សកម្មភាពក្នុងពិធីទៅលើកញ្ចក់ទូរទស្សន៍ទំហំធំកម្រិត 4K និងការបញ្ចាំងលើផ្ទាំងក្រណាត់សព្រមទាំង LED ដែលមានរូបភាពច្បាស់ត្រជាក់ភ្នែកសូមអញ្ជើញកក់ពីឥឡូវនេះតាមរយៈលេខទូរស័ព្ទ012 823 848 017 838 889និង016 823 848រ៉ាហ្វិកាទំនុកចិត្តការទទួលខុសត្រូវនិងគុណភាពខ្ពស់រ៉ាធីកា Entertainment ក្រុមតន្ត្រីអាជីពកំសាន្តបែបស្រាលពីរោះមិនថ្លង់ភ្ញៀវរំភើបចិត្តពិធីរឹតតែអស្ចារ្យ Relax រ៉ាធីកា Entertainment ញ៉ាំងឲ្យកម្មវិធីលោកអ្នកកាន់តែមានភាពអធិកអធមរ៉ាធីកា Entertainment ក្រុមតន្ត្រីដ៏ល្អសម្រាប់ក្រុមគ្រួសារលោកអ្នកសូមអញ្ជើញកក់ពីឥឡូវនេះសម្រាប់កម្មវិធីលោកអ្នកតាមរយៈលេខទូរស័ព្ទ017 838 889 012 823 848និង016 823 848
If it's happening and you need to know about it, you'll get it all right here. EAC News brings you updates and breaking news in English across all of our platforms and channels. The EAC News app, YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, and our website www.eacnews.asia. EAC News' passionate team of reporters, writers, cameramen and video editors are hard at work around the clock, bringing you world-class reports on everything from local and regional news to the latest international stories and the most dramatic footage from around the world. It takes meetings, research, phone calls and emails. And that's before we even get out of the newsroom and onto the set.
I'm Anthony Ellis, a news reporter for EAC News. Thanks for watching.
Odeon tourist to China.
I'm Kristen Winters. I'm a news reporter with EAC News. Thank you for watching.
I'm Darshana Gauchan, EAC News reporter. Thanks for watching us.
I'm Dekha Nim, Sales and Marketing Manager at EAC News. Thank you for joining us.
I am Honsare Ward, EAC News Channel Manager. Thank you for watching us.
EAC News, English language news show, Cambodia's most comprehensive, the Daily Roundup on the EAC News channel, shooting interviews into the field. And those pieces to camera. Join us and subscribe. We wouldn't want you to miss a thing. The Daily Roundup on the EAC News channel. EAC News, Cambodia made clear.
You're watching EAC News.
Thanks for joining us.
You're watching EAC News. Thanks for joining us. Angkor International Airport is set to open in October. The Secretary of State of Civil Aviation has announced the inauguration of Siem Reap Angkor International Airport on October 16, 2023, situated in Sotolnukum District, approximately 40 kilometres from the city of Siem Reap. The airport promises to serve a major gateway to its renowned tourist designation. The notification issued on the 27th of July 2023 informs national and international air transport operators, as well as the public, that the international airport located in Krepong Village, Pompel Commune and Preville Village, Tapak Commune, Sotnukum District, Siem Reap Province, has been officially named Siem Reap Angkor International Airport. According to Sin Chansrevutta, the spokesman of Civil Aviation, Siem Reap Angkor International Airport has received its official IATA code, SAI, from the International Airport Transport Association and its ICAO code, VDSA, from the International Civil Aviation Organisation. Siem Reap Angkor International Airport assumes full responsibility for handling all passenger and air cargo flights presently operating from Siem Reap International Airport. This seamless transfer will take effect from midnight Cambodian time, ahead of the official opening. Siem Reap Angkor International Airport will conduct a series of test flights as needed, non-commercial and non-profit, between October 5th and the 15th of 2023. Ms. Chai Sevelin, President of the Association of Travel Agents of Cambodia, highlighted the significance of the new airport for the future of tourism in Cambodia. She emphasized the importance of enhancing the confidence of tourists by utilizing knowledge, skills, and professional ethics to complete the attraction visitors to the region. We have been working closely with airlines and other stakeholders to ensure everything is in place for the transaction, said Sin Chansrevutta, spokesman of the State Secretary of the Civil Aviation. The construction of the airport began in 2018 and was originally scheduled to be completed in 2021. However, the project was delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Anthony Ellis, EAC News. You're watching EAC News. Thanks for joining us. The National Electoral Committee, NEC, held a public hearing on the morning of the 27th of July 2023 to address 5 complaints and cases against the decisions made by electoral commissions of Kampong Cham, Pailin and Tubong Kamum. The NEC fined 5 citizens for inciting voters not to vote, imposing a 10-year penalty. In Case 1, Plaintiff Law Meng Heng appealed against the Resolution 001 KPKJ dated 17 July 2023 of Kampong Cham Province Electoral Commission. The decision imposed a fine of 10 million reals, removed from the plaintiff's name from the voters list and disqualified him for standing for election for 10 years. Case 2 saw Plaintiff Heng Van Bos, representing Mr. Hen Rachana, appealing against Resolution 001 dated 17th of July 2023 of the Pailin Provisional Electoral Commission. Case 2 saw Plaintiff Heng Van Bos, representing by Mr. Hen Rachana, appealing against Resolution 001 dated 17th of July 2023 of the Pailin Provisional Election Commission. The Commission fined Kem Monikasal, a male, 15 million reals, removed his name from the voters list and disqualified him from voting for 10 years. Case 3 involved plaintiff lawyer Heng Van Bos, representing Mr. Hun Rachana, lodging a complaint against the decision number 002 dated 17 July 2023 issued by the Pailin Provisional Election Commission. The Commission imposed a 10 million real fine on Sun Sophia, a female removed from the voters list, and disqualified her from standing for election for 10 years. In Case 4, Plaintiff Yoon Sok-hun, a teacher, appealed against the decision number 001 dated 19th of July 2023 of the Tubong Kamum Provincial Electoral Commission. This decision fined him 10 million reals, removed his name from the voters list, and disfranchised him for 5 years. As for Case number 5, Plaintiff Tuk Chavim, a male born on 12th of December 1972, and a lawyer, appealed against the decision number 001 KPTK dated 19 July 2023 of the Organising Committee voting in Tubong Kamum Province. The Commission imposed a fine for Yang Sok-hun, a male born in March 29, 1982, delisted him from the voters list and removed his right to vote. The NEC clarified all aforementioned complaints are related to instructions to prevent or incite people not to vote, or for voters to mark and destroy the ballots, which is considered an offence under the Article 142 of the new version of the law of the amendments of the election law. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Prime Minister Hun Sen announced yesterday that he would be resigning his position after 38 years of leading Cambodia. He will be handing over his position to his son, General Hun Manet, next month, and he has already publicly given guidance towards protecting the peace, which he credits himself for establishing long ago. Prime Minister Hun Sen wrote a message to his son on Twitter yesterday, encouraging him to protect Cambodia's peace to maintain the current pace of development and the well-being of the people. He also remarked on the coincidence that on the same day he announced that Hun Manet would become Prime Minister, Bayon TV aired the episode of his birth on the PM's biographical TV series that runs every week entitled Sun Under the Full Moon. General Hun Manet was born on October 20th, 1977, while Prime Minister Hun Sen was in Vietnam. He later re-entered with Vietnamese forces to oust the Khmer Rouge in 1979. The PM said, quote, "Your life started very sad, and you and your mother tried very hard to reunite with me. When you become the Prime Minister of Cambodia, you must protect the peace to ensure the development and peace of the people," end quote. In a special speech yesterday, the Prime Minister announced that he would be turning over his position to his son on August 22nd. He said the move was meant to maintain the stability, security, and long-term development of Cambodia. As the longest-serving Prime Minister in the world, Hun Sen will not be disappearing from political life, however, having announced he would become President of the Senate in February. Kristen Winters, EAC News. You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. While the official election results are not to be released until August, Prime Minister Hun Sen has received scores of congratulations from foreign dignitaries and organizations on his Cambodian People's Party landslide victory on Sunday. Following the election, the Prime Minister received congratulations from the Prime Ministers of Laos and Vietnam and a letter from Chinese President Xi Jinping. Interestingly, the South Korean-based Asia Human Rights Peace Forum, or AHPF, also sent a letter of congratulations to the Prime Minister, despite having supported his biggest rival in 2019. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has the story.
Yesterday, the AHPF sent a letter to the Prime Minister Hun Sen acknowledging the CPP's victory and congratulating him on the win. The AHPF had previously held rallies in South Korea for the now-dissolved CNRP, which greatly opposed the reigning Cambodian government. The organisation went as far as awarding Sam Rainsy, the opposition leader and political foe of the Prime Minister Hun Sen, a Champion of Democracy in Cambodia award in 2019. In a letter, AHPF President Chow Jin-young congratulated the Prime Minister on leading his party to victory in their 7th National Assembly election on July 23rd and wished Cambodia continued growth. Former President of the CNRP Youth Movement, Yin Sim-on, became Under-Secretary of State of Ministry of Labour after renouncing his ties to Sam Rainsy in April. He told EAC News that the letter from the Peace Forum is a true sign of international acceptance and recognition of the Prime Minister Hun Sen and the true legitimate leader of Cambodia.
អញ្ចឹងក្នុងនាមអង្គការបរទេសមួយដែលធ្វើការផ្ទាល់ក៏ដូចជាក់ស្ដែងទៅលើកិច្ចការងារប្រជាបតេយ្យសន្តិភាពក៏ដូចសិទ្ធិមនុស្សហើយងាកមកមើលឃើញពីការគ្រប់គ្រងទៅលើការដឹកនាំរបស់គណៈប្រជាជនកម្ពុជាក៏ដូចរដ្ឋាភិបាលកម្ពុជាគឺបង្ហាញឲ្យឃើញពីភាពដំណើរឆ្ពោះទៅមុខនៃប្រជាបតេយ្យកម្ពុជាដែលសូម្បីតែអង្គការជាតិក៏គាត់ទទួលស្គាល់ផងដែរបាទ
Lao Prime Minister Sonicksaay Siphandone sent Prime Minister Hun Sen a telegram message on congratulations the day after election, while Vietnamese Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh made a phone call the same day. On Tuesday, Chinese President Xi Jinping sent a letter of congratulations to the Prime Minister and praised him for Cambodia's political stability and economic development. Prime Minister Hun Sen tweeted his thanks on Wednesday to all three premiers, saying that their message was warmly received as a gesture of friendship among the neighbouring countries. The July 23rd election saw 85% of Cambodia's registered voters turn out to vote for one of the 18 parties. The long-reigning Cambodian People's Party is said to have gained 6.3 million of the 8.2 million voters, while the Royalist Party, Phun Sipik, placed second with just over 716,000. The NEC reported 440,000 spoilt ballots, presumed invalid in protest of this year's decision not to allow the opposition Candlelight Party to participate in the election. The US, the European Union and Australia had already declared the election as neither free nor fair before it had begun due to alleged harassment and suspension of the opposition, which they say accumulated in barring of the Candlelight Party from the ballot. However, the Cambodian government boasted thousands of domestic and hundreds of international observers from the countries like China, Russia, Iran, and Pakistan, all of who agreed the election was conducted in a transparent and democratic manner free of coercion, intimidation, or voter fraud. The Cambodian Ministry of Foreign Affairs said that the 2023 general election truly reflects the maturity of Cambodia's democracy. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. General Hun Manet, himself among the more than 8.2 million voters in Sunday's National Assembly election, thanked the many people who went to the polls and supported the Cambodian People's Party to a landslide victory. He claimed that the election results showed the people's will clearly. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has the details.
General Hun Manet posted to his Facebook account, "Thank you to who have come to vote for the party they love, especially to those who love and trust the CPP." He said the Cambodian People's Party is committed to continue to serve the country and its people for a better in the future. The future Prime Minister candidate has received a lot of attention from the public, much of whom support his future as the Prime Minister. His father, Prime Minister Hun Sen, said that he supports his son's future because he believes that Hun Manet has the potential to lead Cambodia to future progress. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Prime Minister Hun Sen issued a message this morning apologizing for missing 10 upcoming meetings with factory workers after the election as he had promised. He said that when the meetings resume, the workers will be meeting with a new prime minister, hinting at a transfer of power to his son, General Hun Manet, but not confirming it. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more.
The Prime Minister was on tour of meeting with factory workers before he had to suspend the meetings for election campaign season in accordance with the Cambodian election law. He had promised to resume the meetings 3 days after the election, but explained that he was very busy creating a new government following the election. He confirmed that his meetings with workers, which often involve crowds of nearly 20,000, resume after the formation of the new royal government, which is currently under the rule of the caretaker premier. He said, "We'll meet after the formation of the new government that will have the highest potential for success. There will be a new Prime Minister to visit our workers instead of the old Prime Minister." Prime Minister Hun Sen confirmed that he would not be going anywhere, but he explained further during the inauguration of the 3rd Phnom Penh bypass on August 3rd. He said, "I'll explain at that time, but I needed to send a message now because according to the plan, I was supposed to meet the workers on July 27th, but it was delayed and postponed. The new government is scheduled to be sworn in on the 29th of August 2023. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Assembly Senate Relations and Inspection, Mein Sam On, met with 357 students from Phnom Penh Tamai Special Education High School and Chba Ampo Special Education High School in Phnom Penh this morning. During the meeting, she handed out donations and assured students and teachers of the government's continued commitment to the needs of persons with disabilities. DPM Mein Sam On said that Prime Minister Hun Sen and First Lady Bun Rani always think about the well-being of the people all over the country, including the well-being of blind and deaf students, which they consider as children and grandchildren. She emphasized that the royal government will continue to pay attention to their needs now and in the future. In addition to government officials, many other leaders have visited deaf and blind children recently, including future Prime Minister Hun Manet and his wife Pik Chamoni, and MP Hun Mani, among others. Prime Minister Hun Sen has also asked the Ministry of Education, Youth and Sports to manage and take care of people who struggle with mental and physical health, and to provide accessible study materials for deaf and blind students.
The DPM also handed out a total of 20 million real and $1,000 donated from philanthropists, in addition to dry goods like rice, noodles, canned fish, and fruit. She also handed out 50,000 real to each student and teacher. The principal of Phnom Penh Tamai Special Education High School thanked DPM Mainsam An for taking the time to visit and give gifts to deaf and blind students and staff at Phnom Penh Tamai Special Education High School this morning. The principal said that this valuable gift will help motivate his teachers and students to have the courage to study hard and get better results. Kristen Winters, EAC News. You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. After 38 years of leading Cambodia, Prime Minister Hun Sen announced that he will not continue as the Prime Minister following the formation of a new government mandated by the 7th National Assembly election held on Sunday. In anticipation of a landslide victory for the CPP, he will be transferring power to his son, General Hun Manet, who has been appointed by the CPP as the next Prime Minister. In a special speech this afternoon, the Prime Minister said that he would be relinquishing his position for the long-term stability of the kingdom.
ខ្ញុំប្រកាសណាខ្ញុំសូមការយោគយល់ពីសំណាក់បងប្អូនប្រជាពលរដ្ឋដើម្បីប្រកាសថាខ្ញុំប្រកាសណាខ្ញុំនឹងមិនបន្តមុខតំណែងជានាយករដ្ឋមន្ត្រីនោះទេខ្ញុំប្រកាសណាខ្ញុំពិតជាបានប្រកាសខ្លួនថាជាបេក្ខជននាយករដ្ឋមន្ត្រីសម្រាប់នីតិកាលទី7ហើយអាដាមហ៊ុនម៉ាណែតគឺជាបេក្ខជននាយករដ្ឋមន្ត្រីអនាគតតែសភាពការគឺបានតម្រូវឲ្យត្រូវធ្វើការរៀបចំរដ្ឋាភិបាលចាប់ពីដើមរដ្ឋនេះទៅដើម្បីធានានៅភាពរលូននៃដំណើរការរដ្ឋាភិបាលដោយគ្មានអាឃាត
He confirmed that many current government officials will also leave their positions, making room for the next generation of leaders in the Cambodian government. He called on ministers to be ready to resign their positions so that the next generation can lead the country successfully. He suggested the ministers may be given seats in the National Assembly instead.
សូមឲ្យរដ្ឋមន្ត្រីនានាដែលមិនទទួលតំណែងជារដ្ឋមន្ត្រីតទៅទៀតអង្គុយនៅក្នុងសភាជាតំណាងរាស្ត្រព្រោះពួកយើងចាស់ណាស់ហើយ
Once he has handed over his position as Prime Minister sometime in August, he will then be running in February's Senate elections to take over as President of the congressional body. Senate elections are voted on by fellow government officials rather than the public. 58 of the Senate seats are voted in, while the remaining 4 seats are appointed by the National Assembly and the King. Currently, the CPP holds all 62 Senate seats. Prime Minister Hun Sen said that even though he will be acting as Senate President, he will not be interfering in future Prime Minister Hun Manet's decisions, which he said he understands must be made independently. Kristen Winters, EAC News. You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. The Secretary General of the Disability Action Council organized an online IT competition for young persons with disabilities on July 25th through 26th. 4 lucky winners will be sent to Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates to compete in a live IT competition from October 24th through 29th. 5 other competitors will be able to participate in the competition online. Secretary of State of the Ministry of Social Affairs, Veterans, and Youth Rehabilitation, and Secretary General of the Disability Action Council, Aimchan Makara, attended the competition and wished the youth the best of luck in the competition. He also encouraged young persons with disabilities who did not qualify for the competition to work hard so that they can participate next time. Secretary Aimchan Makara also expressed his pride that persons with disabilities from Cambodia are able to compete with their international peers. He noted that disabled Cambodians